Jason, what's your stance on passkeys? And I guess I should ask, do you know what passkeys are?
They're the alternatives to passwords, right? Where all the websites now are asking, would you like to create a passkey for this website?
Yes, it is that. It is basically a replacement for passwords. At least that's what it's supposed to be. And you can use your biometrics or whatever on your phone, usually, to basically prove that you are you. And so you don't have to have a unique password because your device kind of manages the password part of it for you.
I have so far avoided creating them on basically every website.
Wow. Okay. I knew it was going to be either you've made them on every single website or on no websites. So that makes sense.
I'm not against them, but here's the couple of things. So first, like for work, I have a lot of different accounts. Like if I go to Amazon.com, I have a lot of accounts. I have accounts for work. I have accounts for personal. I have like 2 different or 3 different accounts for work. So like it's already hard enough to manage them with different emails and passwords. And I feel like it would get more difficult with passkeys, but I don't actually know that. And that's where I encounter it the most. On the other side of it is I don't, maybe I just needed to do it and figure it out, but I feel like I use a lot of different devices to log into things. Like, let's just take Gmail, for example. I log into Gmail on my phone, my personal computer, my work computer, my other work computer, sometimes an iPad or another device, my personal MacBook. Like, how does that work with passkeys? I assume it's just a different passkey on every device, but then like, why not just use a password and make it tough and have 2-factor authentication and like stay logged in? Like, I don't know. I guess I don't see the huge value from it, so I haven't done it.
I have a couple of passkeys done, and I actually think it would solve some of those problems you're talking about of having 15 different devices and also having several unique logins. I think Amazon is actually one of the ones where I do have a passkey, and it's almost, I set it up almost by accident. And then I sometimes use it. Like the problem, or not the problem, but the weirdness about this is that a passkey is supposed to be able to completely replace your password, right? You're supposed to not need a password. But the thing is, if you don't have the device that has the passkey on it or whatever, or you can't log in with the passkey, it falls back to a password nowadays. Like they haven't made the full switch. So like there's not a lot of, I don't know, benefit, I would say, to passkeys most of the time. But like there's a thing where you can do passkeys on your like desktop tower computer where it like does some kind of weird Bluetooth thing to your phone, and you scan the QR code on your computer screen with your phone, and then it like face IDs you or whatever, and then that counts as like unlocking your passkey or something.
Oh no, I can totally do it on my desktop, like or on my laptop at work. Like it'll use the Windows Hello authentication.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it'll do that. But like again, I don't really. You still have to have a password, which means I still have to have a password manager, which I guess, okay, maybe help me understand what the end game is here. Because if you do totally replace passwords, then what happens when I move from one device to another? Like, how do I log in on that second device if only the first device has a passkey?
Well, you still have to use basically a password manager to get the passkeys around, I think. I'm pretty sure. That or this flow that I described where you scan the QR code and then it checks you on your phone. It's like your phone is the thing with the passkeys on it, and then all these other devices you log into, you just scan the QR code, and then it essentially authenticates against does this person have the phone that's registered with the passkey that I know using encryption stuff.
Uh-huh. And so when I get a new phone,
yep.
Do I now lose all of my 2-factor authentication codes and all of my passkeys?
I mean, depending on how you're doing your 2FA and passkey like management, I would imagine yes or no. It kind of depends. Like I use Authy for my 2-factor codes, mostly because it was around before they let you do 2-factor codes in Apple Passwords or in 1Password, or before I had 1Password. So I didn't. I just set them up all in Authy, so they all sync and all that good stuff, except for a couple ones that I need for work, because those, of course, have their own thing, and you can't do them differently, and it's fine. But they make it relatively easy to switch phones. 1Password can manage your passkeys. Apple Passwords can manage your passkeys. both of those will do multi-device syncing of passkeys, I believe.
I have slowly started to move my passkey. I've slowly started to move my two-factor authentication into my password manager. Most of them are still in Authy. I don't know. I'm not there yet with passkeys.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm just kind of waiting for like the dust to settle a little bit on passkeys, because also I want to be able to share them, right? I want to be able to have them like family sharing, essentially, which I think you can do in Apple passwords now, but like I'm still using 1Password, and so I don't need to, I can't use the Apple, or don't want to use a second password manager to do that right now. I also keep my 2FA stuff in Authy because of some kind of archaic idea that I would somehow be more secure to have it in a separate app than in the same password manager app with all my passwords. I don't know if that's founded or not, because I'm pretty sure my Authy password's in my password manager. So like, what am I buying myself? But I at least give myself the illusion of those being separate.
Are passkeys an attempt to move from something you know to something you are?
I don't know about something you are, but it's kind of a combination of something you have and something you are.
Okay. Because obviously, the triangle of security, right? Or it's not really a triangle. You can have all three. But the most secure thing is something you know, something you have, and something you are, right? Biometrics, password, and two-factor authentication with a phone or something else. I don't know. I just don't see the value here. Like I like the something you know, something you have, and I'm fine with adding a 3-factor authentication with something you are, right? Like a biometric, but I don't know. I guess I'm not. I don't see the value there yet. I have not bought in yet.
I am encouraged, but I think it also doesn't matter as much if you have a password manager that you use religiously. Like,
right.
If you're one of these people that's like, oh, I just set all my passwords to the same one password, like same single password to do all of my, everything, then passkeys are great for you, because then behind the scenes, your device is making you independent passwords and independent logins, essentially,
right,
and managing those for you. And all you have to do is do your little Face ID thing. That's great if that's the kind of person you are, but like, it's not that much different than just my password manager fills in my password for me. I guess if you're using a passkey, theoretically, you shouldn't need to get like texted a 2-factor code, assuming that people would implement it correctly. But I would imagine that most places like your bank or whatever would still make you do a 2-factor code and a passkey. But theoretically, I'm pretty sure that passkeys are supposed to be able to kind of obviate the idea of 2-factor codes.
I'm going to try this. Now that you've mentioned it, you've inspired me to at least try it out, because as I'm thinking about it, I'm also interested in how my password manager is going to manage passkeys. Like, is it going to be one passkey for that and it uses it and it syncs it across everywhere? Or is it going to save a different one per device? And when I save a different one per device, is it going to put it all under the same header, like under the same like login, or is it going to create a bunch of different ones? And if it creates a bunch of different ones, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not like I'm not flooding my password manager with 20 different passkeys of 20 different records. Like I need them grouped. So I'm interested to try it now, but I don't think I'm going to get there. I just don't. I don't see the value yet.
You could try it on something like low stakes. Like I'm pretty sure either CVS or Target, I'm not sure which one, has passkeys as an option. So you could like just try the flow on something you don't care about and just see how it stores.
I'll do Target.
That's the thing, is like
because Target also has an app, right?
Yes,
like
it does.
I can. How is it all going to flow together on like app with website with? And yeah, that's a good idea. I'll try that.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily jump straight into the thing that's going to make your work life miserable with Amazon or whatever, but like just pick something that you don't quite care about and then it'll be fine.
Well, the other side of this is that like you don't have to use the passkey. The thing with Amazon that drives me nuts is that it prompts every single time, would you like to create a passkey?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So like I log in, I switch accounts, I log out of one, I log back in the other one. It's like, oh, and it throws a pop-up because my password manager catches it. And it's like, oh, would you like to create a passkey here? No, please, no, just let me type actually, you've already typed the password. Like, let's just move on to the next step, please.
Yeah. I think that's how I ended up with a passkey for Amazon specifically, because they got me one time where they're like, do you want to make a passkey or something? And either I clicked it or my password manager clicked it on my behalf or something. And
right.
Now in my password manager, there is a passkey for Amazon.
Amazon is very aggressive about creating passkeys with their login flow. Others have asked first.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what happened here. So now every time it's like, you have a passkey. Would you like to use it? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess. So it does work.
I'll report back about Target. How's that?
All right, let us know how your Target experience is with passkeys.
Welcome to Pride and Accomplishment. My name is Jason.
And I'm Chris. This is episode 164. On our last episode, we talked about the Super Mario Galaxy collection coming to Switch, and I have a little bit of follow-up on that. I was one of the suckers that did buy it, although I did it with a coupon from Best Buy and with some gift cards from credit card points, so don't at me. But I bought this game, $70, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Just a spoiler alert, these games are fun.
Who knew?
The defining 3D Mario from the Wii era was good. Here to report 20 years later.
They're all solid. I mean, they're all good.
I know.
I think Odyssey was the best, but I mean, I'm a little biased. But there's a reason Nintendo has done so well.
I know. I actually I was on a trip and I had bought Final Fantasy Tactics Remake, intending to play it, and then didn't get to it in the first 3 days of my trip, and then Mario came out and I got it, and then I only played Mario.
One of the things that we had talked about in the last episode is how they were going to do like the motion controls, how they were going to adapt them from the Wii to the Switch. Any findings there?
Well, yes. I mean, I did play it. I actually have played almost exclusively with the motion controls on. Like, it feels good to use the motion controls to play these games because they were designed for motion controls, and so it's a little bit awkward to not have motion controls. I guess I'll say it works well, and because it's not the Wii sensor bar thing, you don't have to point at the TV exactly. Like, you can there's a button and you can reset the gyro to, this is now the center of the screen kind of a thing. You can play with different orientations essentially. But it's kind of perfect with the Switch to playing portably. I've tried it both. I tried it both in like tabletop portable mode and also like on the TV, and both work great. But like, you can have the tabletop one works really well, and you can hold a Joy-Con in each hand, like under the desk or under the airplane tray table or whatever, and you can do the motion controls. And it doesn't take a lot of motion controls. That's the other piece, is like, it doesn't take. And again, because you don't have to point at the screen, it's not awkward. It's not as awkward as it was in the Wii era, because you don't have to like have your arm outstretched in front of you. You can kind of just like flick your wrist and you'll get the little cursor to move around the way you kind of expect it to. So the motion controls are actually pretty good. The non-motion controls are a little bit weird because there are a few things that basically expect you to have a cursor on the screen. So that's a little bit of a miss, or a little bit weird. So instead they make you touch the screen. They say, oh yeah, shake the controller or touch the screen. And it's like, I don't want to touch the screen. I don't know what they do on the TV. I didn't actually try that on the TV side. It might turn into like a thing that you do with the other stick. You might like move the cursor with the stick.
That's really the only thing I can think of.
Well, you could motion control the whole controller, I guess. Like, like if you're holding a Pro controller, you could like tilt the whole.
But if you had turned them off, if you'd turned motion off completely, the only thing left is to move it like a cursor around the screen like a joystick.
Right, which would take forever.
Yeah. But
the level design, the games themselves, they're very fun. It's that old like 3D Mario thing, kind of like I don't remember if 64 was like this or not. But like where you have kind of a galaxy or whatever, like a map, a set of maps essentially, and then there's like different challenges or different like levels to get the little stars that you collect. I think Sunshine was like this too, where you can go back to the same galaxy like 4 or 5 times to get the 4 or 5 stars that are there, and you're collecting the stars because it powers up the ship or whatever, and it's the story of the Mario game. But it's very fun, and it's got like a tight loop there, so you can be like, I'm going to play one instance of one galaxy or whatever, and that takes maybe 10 minutes or less. Like, it's very pick up and put down kind of a thing, which is nice.
So you've played primarily Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2?
Galaxy 1.
You've crossed over?
No, I was only playing Galaxy 1. I'm kind of playing them in order. I played the first, I think there's like 5 or 6 of the kind of like galaxies in Galaxy 1, and I've done the first one and like half of the second one.
Is it like a continuous story, or is it like a totally different?
I believe it is a continuous story. I mean, as much of a story as there is in a Mario game.
Sure.
But there is a little bit of a story because they made this whole big deal about having the physical storybook or whatever, which is the storybook is the thing in the game, and there's like story pages or whatever. I haven't really seen much of those. I haven't really gotten to hardly any of those, but I know that that's a thing that people seem to like. So I launched Steam this week, and it popped up with a thing in my face that said Steam Next Fest going on now till October 20th or whatever it is. And I thought we already did that.
Did we just do this? Like, I feel like we just recorded a podcast about the Next Fest, and we went through all of the things we played in the demo, and I feel like that was like 2 months ago.
I think it was like not 2 months, but maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay, are they doing these more often now? Is that just a thing I'm going to have to accept, that there's constantly going to be demos that I have to play? Because we talked about this last time. I love the demos.
Yes,
I love
demos are
playing
great.
as many as I can, and I get like really overwhelmed, honestly, when every time they do this.
I don't understand why the demos are time limited. Like, why don't they just have demos all the time? Because like they've gone to the effort of making a demo. Why not just have it always be available?
I feel like we're having this I'm having so much deja vu right now.
But I think that Steam Next Fest now is kind of like Prime Day, where it just happens like 3 or 4 times a year, and you just have to live with it.
Yeah, probably. I just reviewed our show notes actually, and we recorded an episode in June about Steam Next Fest, so it has been a couple months.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay,
reasonable.
Well, in any case, I don't know if this was a part of Steam Next Fest, but I have Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 on my wish list, and I got an email that said, hey, there's a demo out for this game now. And this game has been out for a little while. So it was surprising to me to see them like publish a demo just, like almost a year after this game has come out. But I was very interested, and I said, hey, Chris, do you want to play a demo for a co-op game?
And I said, yes, I haven't played a game with people in like 2 months. Let's play a game.
So we played. So the demo was the first. They said the first 3 missions. I think Chris and I ended up playing 2 missions together, because the first one's kind of a tutorial. It's not really a mission. So I had heard a lot of really good things about this game. And the combat and the all of that is not really my thing, but I have heard that the combat's pretty good, kind of fun, and then there's a really like compelling cinematic story that goes along with it. And I would say the demo did a very nice job of giving me the tiniest hint of that story, and giving a pretty good hint or a pretty good showcase of the combat.
Oh, absolutely. I was surprised at how long this demo was. Like it like kind of kept going, and that was kind of nice, but also kind of like, wow, this is really long. if you're not super into the gameplay loop.
Are you saying you weren't super into the gameplay loop?
Correct. I was not super into the game. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit before, but the like Space Marine kind of grunty military guy with the big gun and fighting the endless waves of aliens is just not quite my thing. It was fun to play again with people. Like I enjoyed playing it with you. I would not have enjoyed playing it by myself, I don't think.
Oh, I think that's fair. I think back to when you were playing Gears of War a lot. You always play them with someone else. So I felt like the only way I was going to get into this game at all is playing it with someone else. So I was glad that there was a demo. I would agree, infinite hordes of zombies is not really my thing. I mean, I don't really care if everyone loves the Left 4 Dead series, and I think it's good. It's fun to play together, but in general, I don't really care for the series. But I really liked this, as I have been saying for literally years at this point, that I was looking for an entry into Warhammer.
True.
I was looking for an entry into that lore. And right off the bat with this demo, you get a cutscene and you're like, what the heck just happened? Like, I get you can, like, they do a good job of like giving context clues of like, we mean this, and it, it's a bad thing, and you generally understand what's good and what's bad. But I right away went to Reddit and be like, someone explain this to me. Like, I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about this lore. And so the demo did exactly what I was hoping it for it to do with Warhammer 40K. Not Space Marine specifically, but with the larger universe of Warhammer 40K. It like started to like get its claws into me just a tiny bit.
Don't they have like books and stuff about Warhammer? Like you could like get into the universe with that kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. No, yes, there's I think one of the answers on Reddit was like, I could write an entire essay about this question. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is Warhammer. Like there are books, there are novels, there are encyclopedias, so it's there. Yeah. We didn't get too much of this story. But I could see that it was going somewhere, and I'm interested in maybe where it was leading. I heard it was actually a compelling, maybe not touching, but like slightly emotional story that you would find. I don't know. I think you kind of experienced that in Gears of War too, right? Like the story was actually kind of, there were key moments in the story more than just, my infinite killing of whatever enemy is attacking.
True. But when I played Gears of War, it was Gears of War 4, I think. And so the characters had sort of a rapport, and there was like a mix of characters, and they had some history to them and stuff. I didn't get the feeling in this particular demo of this installment, which is a sequel, that in general there was much from the first game that was like, and then maybe this is a good job to them, but like there didn't seem like there was a lot of like this guy had a lot of relationships or like any sort of like, I don't know, friends. Maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think just the main character is the crossover from the original, and everything else was kind of a new relationship, which made it feel very approachable for me.
It was very approachable, but also very like, is this guy just kind of a space grunt? Like, what is his? I mean, he's not a grunt. He's important because they told me that in the story. But like, I don't know. I didn't get that invested in his. I'm curious what happens to him, but I'm not invested in his outcome.
I'm not invested either. I was getting there though, and I feel like if I had played one or two more missions, I would have gotten there.
Maybe. I never say this, and I always give you grief for saying it, but this is one where I would consider watching cutscenes on YouTube.
There you go. Okay. Just to kind of find out what happens, right?
Because I don't enjoy playing this game, and I'm just kind of curious what happens. Yes, I would watch the movie of this game.
I really liked the cutscenes in this game. I also really liked the environment, the
world building.
Not so much the world build. I mean, the world building was cool. I liked getting into Warhammer 40K a little bit. I liked the lore, but what I'm trying to get at is like the scene, the cinematic, the staging, the setting, the
cinematography,
crazy amounts. Yeah, the cinematography, the crazy amounts of enemies they had on screen. Like it really did feel like a war zone. Like it really did feel like there are I don't know that any other game has really made me feel like I am actually fighting a horde of enemies before, like an entire swarm of them. And this game did a really good job of giving you that feeling.
Yes, they did actually a really nice job, because they would have the swarm of little enemies come, and they would start like climbing the walls and making like a ladder out of like a what you would call a human ladder if it was humans, but it was bugs. So I guess, or whatever, Tyranids or whatever. But anyway, so they started like all like climbing on top of each other's shoulders essentially to make it up the hill or up the wall. I actually was worried the first time that happened that they were actually going to make it very quickly. Because it looked like they were scaling this wall really, really fast. And I was like, we can't deal with this level of things if they all showed up here at once. But then there is a little bit of they didn't come up that fast, and we were able to manage it a little bit. But that is the first time, where I've seen it really look like there is a innumerable amount of enemies that you are up against and needing to fight.
And like I almost think like as you're, because we understand a little bit of game development more than maybe someone that doesn't have a software background. I'm not saying I can develop games. I'm saying I understand a little bit more about how computers work, let's say. And, I'm thinking right away, like, oh, they're like, this is kind of like this is all fake. These are not rendered enemies. These are not like models. It's just like just a screen, it's just almost like a pre-rendering, right? They're not real. And then you throw a grenade in this giant pile and they all ragdoll. And I'm like, oh, no, those are enemies. So I don't know. It was just really cool. I don't know. I thought that was really well done.
They did have a lot of occasions where you could see them in the background, like running as well, or like flying and that kind of thing, it was nice. It's a good touch.
This game is currently on sale for $26.99.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to buy it, but I would not be upset if it came through on a Humble bundle.
I think it's perfect because they've been doing a couple of Warhammer things for Humble recently. So they could definitely do that in the next 6 months. I could see. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to hope and I'm going to wait, and maybe it's going to convince me to, maybe the copium here is going to get me to subscribe to Humble Monthly for another year.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Is this game on Game Pass?
I don't believe so. If you're about to tell me this is on Game Pass and all of that goes away, no. Space Marine 1 is.
Okay. Well, that to me gives you some hope for.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of Warhammer games on Game Pass. There was a lot of Warhammer games in Humble. I think that it is entirely likely that this game gets to some kind of something that I'm able to play it without buying it, eventually. This has encouraged me to play some other, like, now that I see that now that I see that Space Marine 1 is on Game Pass. It's an old game, but I think it did get remastered. But Bolt Gun is like the Doom, it's a recent game, but it's the 2D. It
looks like the original Doom.
Yeah. And it's the same kind of setting with Space Marines and whatnot. I kind of want to play it. And we did get Bolt Gun with Humble Monthly a couple months ago. So I don't know. I've downloaded it. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but I might try it out.
There was also Darktide or whatever it was that we played for a minute that was in the Warhammer universe. So
yeah, that's the co-op horde shooter, like that straight up horde
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. I really didn't think I was going to like the melee combat in this game, but I ended up liking it more than I thought.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the melee, I think, was probably my favorite part. The problem was I would stand there and melee things because it's satisfying to melee things, but then they would be attacking me and then I would almost die or always die. So that wasn't great.
You did pretty good.
I did fine. For me playing a game like this, I did fine.
The last thing I'll say about this game is that what we started to really understand how big the game was. Like, there's these operations that you can play, and I think they're repeatable content, but it gets harder and harder and harder. Like, you can make it harder, and there's a bunch of unlocks, and there's a bunch of unlockable cosmetics, and my eyes started to just go really wide, and I was like, oh my God, this game is huge. Like, there's so much here. And I guess I'm just want to say that was really encouraging to me to see. This is a full price AAA game, but I felt like there was a full price AAA game's worth of stuff to do in just the PvE side of it, because there's also a PvP side of it.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. I was really encouraged by that, where I was like, oh, I could actually sink a lot of time into this if I really got into it. And I don't know. I thought that was really good. I thought it was something worth mentioning to say that they didn't just build a campaign and move on. They didn't just build a campaign and slap on, a repeatable content engine that they could monetize with, season passes. I think they actually, from what I saw from the demo and what it teased, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot here. So I don't know. I think that's really nice to see that it wasn't just a bolt-on, pun intended.
This one is not a buy for me, but if it went on Game Pass or on Humble and we got a group together and wanted to play, I would consider it. I would play it. Like, if I didn't have to buy it for $70 or even $35, I would play it if I had access to it some other way. But it's just not my cup of tea, and I'm not gonna go through that whole expansive thing that you were just talking about. Like, it doesn't push the buttons for me. the thing that really put me over the edge is we were playing the story mission, and we were talking about hordes of enemies and all of this, and I realized we were walking up a ramp made out of like alien corpses, and the floor was squishy, like it had squelching noises as your giant Space Marine guy is walking, and I'm like, I don't generally play games with squishy floors. Like, this is not really my thing.
It's not really my thing either, but it was, again, it goes back to like this scenery and this setting, and it was, I don't know, they did a really nice job. Like, it really felt like hordes of enemies had died where we were walking through. So yeah, again, not really my thing, but really well done. I did like this game more than you did. I would play this game. I would buy it eventually, especially if other people said they wanted to play it. Now, Chris, this next game you have on the list, I don't think was in Steam Next Fest. Maybe it was. I don't know. It's got a demo though, so we put it on the list.
Correct. Yes, I did not play any other games during Next Fest just because I haven't had time really, other than Ball Pit, which was not part of Next Fest, but is a great game, and we'll talk about it later. The other game that I played, though, and I played this probably 3 weeks ago, so it was not part of Next Fest, was Sonic Racing Crossworld, which we talked about a while ago.
Yeah, this was the game we talked about that like was kind of going to be a competitor to Mario Kart, right?
I would say it's more than kind of. I mean, I would say it is it's a kart racer, right? So, I mean, it's in the Mario Kart genre, similar to like Crash Team Racing and whatever. There were a couple other ones that were like kart racers, but I played it. I played the demo. I did not buy it because I'm not going to buy it for $70 or whatever it costs. But it was fun. Like, it was a good game, good racing game, I think.
I have heard that the people that don't like Mario Kart like this game. I don't know that I can spend $70 on it. I do like that it's crossplay. I do like that it's potentially a little bit return to form where Mario Kart has gone a little bit off the rails, maybe. And if this game was $30, I probably would have bought it already.
That would be the right price for this kind of game, because it also does have a little bit of, I don't know, it kind of has that arcade feel to it, right? It doesn't, Mario Kart has a very polished, like very Nintendo kind of vibe, I guess I'll say. That Mario Kart World is unique and special, but even Mario Kart 8, yes, it has kind of an arcade feel to it because, you pick courses and you play the thing, whatever. But like, I feel like Sonic Racing Crossworld has a lot of like menus and power-ups and customizations and stuff, and like you're just kind of waiting for there to be a insert a quarter kind of a thing to keep going to unlock the next thing. Which I don't love. I mean, it's fine, but the racing itself is actually pretty good. Like, the racing, it feels more like an old school Mario Kart. It has classic lap-based, races like Mario Kart 8 does, and like Mario Kart World doesn't. And the environments are kind of interesting. I mean, they're not amazing, but the tracks are good. The dynamics, like the drifting and stuff, is a little bit weird. But I think they did a really good job.
So what did you get to experience in the demo?
In the demo, you can play basically one cup, if you think of it in Mario Kart terms. So like one set of 3 or 4 levels or whatever, like courses. And the gimmick of this whole thing is that you do, it's called Crossworlds, right? Because you cross worlds, you go to different places. So you basically go to a track, an arena, or whatever you want to say, a track, and it's a 3-lap race. You do 1 lap on the track, and then in the beginning of the second lap, there's like a cross-world choice. And so whoever's in front, whoever's the first place person at the time, gets to choose which of 2 different other worlds you go to. And that basically sets the second lap as this other map, essentially. It's similar to like if you ever played or saw Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's that kind of thing where you're like picking a rift and like you go through the little like travel ring or whatever, and then you're in that other map altogether. And there's some pretty interesting ones there. There's one that's like casino themed, so you're like running on a roulette board. I mean, that's pretty standard for like Mario Kart and stuff too. But Then after the end of the second lap, you come back to the first where you started and you do one more lap there.
That's kind of a cool gimmick.
It is a really cool gimmick. And then I think on the third lap, or sorry, not the third lap, but the fourth course, the last course, you do kind of a sampling of all of the crossroads that you've been to or something like that. I forget exactly how they do it, but yeah, it's constantly mixing it up though, which is kind of nice.
Interesting. I just downloaded the demo. I'm going to give it a try. Do you know if we could play the demo together or was it single player only?
I think it was single player only, but I would check.
Because that would be fun. Again, just to play the demo, like 2 people. How many people were in the races? Because this is one of my complaints with Mario Kart.
I think it was only 16. I don't think it was 24.
Okay.
Maybe it was 12. I don't know. It was not that many.
Too many.
It was a lot, but not that many.
12 or less is the right number.
There are 23 Sonic characters in the roster, but that's not how many people you play with. 12 players online. I don't know.
If this game went on sale for $30, would you buy it?
If we were going to play it together, yes. I don't know that I would buy it just for myself, but if we were going to play it together, I would buy it to play it together, and then I would probably play it on my own.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Maybe this is going to go on the it is on already. It's already on the wish list.
This is also another great, like, in a year come to Humble as a, AAA game that's coming to Humble as the headliner kind of thing.
Okay, so you haven't played anything else for Next Fest. Did anything else from Next Fest catch your eye?
I didn't look closely.
There's this Star Trek game?
I did see the trailer for that. That did look good.
It's a roguelike Star Trek game. I know nothing else about it.
That doesn't... Yeah, that's fine. That's all I need to know that I'm interested. So it's Star Trek Voyager game, no less. You forgot to mention the most important detail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. I should play this demo before it goes away, presumably tomorrow. The other thing that caught my eye because I got an email about it was The Last Caretaker, which was on my wish list that showed up as a demo, which is
what is this one? I haven't heard of this one.
Crafting puzzle something, maybe survival crafting story game. I don't know hardly anything about this game. I just know that it was something that was on a trailer at Game Awards or something, and I put it on my wish list at that time, and now it has a demo. Okay.
Atmospheric, open world adventure, first person survival crafting adventure. Okay. The thing that turns me away from this game is that it's not multiplayer. It's not co-op.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because it's first person, but either way.
No, first person's okay. I mean, like Raft was first person, but Raft was so much more fun playing with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I like the premise here though. Like you're like, again, caretaker, like something has gone wrong and like you having to do something to make sure that the platform, or I can't quite tell, like stays afloat or stays working.
Yeah, it's got a neat concept, and you're like the last caretaker. You're the robot that keeps the thing running and protects the humans or something. So it's kind of a clever take.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't see that one.
It comes out in a couple weeks on November 6th, actually.
Comes out early access.
Oh, well, fine. Yes. Sorry, I don't.
Did you see that Jackbox Party Pack 11 is coming out and has a demo?
Get their marketing emails, and yes, I did see that they're coming out. I have not done anything with it because Jackbox, as we've previously mentioned, requires people. So we would have to have a people get together in order for that to work. But I would be interested to play it if people were playing it. Have you seen any of the games? Do you know if any of them are good? I keep getting their marketing emails and I mostly delete them, so I don't know what they're.
I'll be honest, I scrolled right past this one. I don't know.
Oh no, bad idea. I'm just looking at their game thing right now, like their Steam page. The first one is writing. That's fine. The first game. The second game, sound effects.
Yep, sound effects.
I
record sound effects and dialogue directly from your phone. Yeah.
This is terrible. I don't know.
In a fully inspired game. where laughter is the soundtrack. Oh, I don't know about that, but that's cool.
It's clever. It's extremely clever, but I don't think that I am that extroverted, I guess I'll say.
I like the trivia games. There's another one in this, Legends of Trivia, because I'm not a huge fan of what's the trivia one they have in all of their games right now? The
Trivia
hotel
Murder Party?
one. Trivia Murder Party.
Trivia Murder Party, by the way. I know everybody loves it. I
know.
it.
No, I know you hate it. I know you hate it so much. So I'm happy to see that there is another trivia game called Legends of Trivia. It seems to be kind of like fantasy based rather than horror based.
Yeah, that's good.
So that'll be nice. Yes, I know you hate. I always, like, a lot of people, I don't know that people love Murder Trivia Party. I think people like trivia games, and it's the best one so far. And just every time someone suggests it, you just groan so loud.
The theme, it just drives me nuts. As previously covered, we don't like scary around here. And the whole thing there is that it's not really scary, but it's in that theme of like, rah, 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 I'm a scary voice, blah, 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 blah. Like, I hate all of that. I do not like the aesthetic at all. I love the trivia. The trivia is great. The trivia is very fun. But I do not like the theme at all.
Yeah. I mean, I get through it. I think some of it's funny because it's very tongue-in-cheek scary. Like, it's not scary.
It's not scary. No, it's not actually scary. It's got the organ music, and it's got the narrator guy that's got the voice changer on.
And it's got the screaming, the screaming.
And you play as little voodoo dolls, and like, it's just not, none of that appeals to me at all.
Well, maybe this new one will.
I actually really like the wheel of proportions or whatever that one's, the wheel of whatever that nobody else likes.
I don't like that one so much because I don't feel like the person that gets the most trivia questions wins that game.
That's true. It is kind of like the Mario Party of trivia games.
That is such a good way of saying it.
That's why I don't like Mario Party, is because you can do the best at Mario Party and still lose at the last second for no good reason. Yeah, I know. I'm with you there. All right. Well, I would play Legends of Trivia. No problem. That sounds fun. Then also the other ones in here might be interesting.
Chris, last week we talked in the after show about the Asus ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X. They have now come out. We have now started to see reviews of them. And I think I can sum up my entire opinion of them to say I don't really have a whole lot to say about them.
I read one review, I think, maybe two reviews. I have not watched any reviews. They are a little bit underwhelming, it seems like. That was a lot of what I saw. All of the outlets, all of the media outlets kind of took the cheap shot and said, this is not an Xbox, as their headline thing. Cause that was their whole thing. It was like, this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox. But like, apparently the experience is not Xbox-like enough for people to let them get away with calling it an Xbox.
No, it's a PC.
It is. I mean, yes, it's a handheld PC running Windows, which it was really a shame to see how kind of rough around the edges that experience was, because I was actually really looking forward to that whole Windows handheld experience.
I think it will still get better, and I'm still interested in putting it on my Ally X. But the long and short of what I have read is if you already have a handheld, there's no reason to get this one over the one you already have.
That's also what I was coming to terms with as well, because I do have a Steam Deck and it is good. Like, I picked up my Steam Deck for the first time, I want to say like yesterday, the day before, after playing the Switch 2 with the kill switch on it for a while. And the Steam Deck is like really light. Like, it's really well balanced and really like light in the hand.
Oh.
I don't know if you have picked up a Steam Deck lately, but it's the ergonomics of it are pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't really touched it, but like I'm happy I have my Ally X. I'm going to try the new Xbox experience on Windows on it. And I honestly, at this point, I think I might just hold out until someone makes an OLED screen other than Steam Deck and just say, I'm good for a year or two more. But I like the fact that the new Xbox Ally X does not have an OLED screen. It's, it's slightly better than what was out there in terms of processing power. Like, we have not made a leap in handhelds. Like, maybe, I don't know if I was expecting it or maybe I was just hyping it up in my head. The ergonomics are a little better. It's a little different, but like, there's no super compelling reason to change or update. I think you're on the right path of just waiting for the Steam Deck 2, if they're ever going to do that, especially if it happens in 2026.
I was every once in a while, like I want to say every quarter or so, I do a Google search for like Steam Deck 2 and then like release date. And of course, there's a bunch of rumors and nobody knows anything. But the current rumors are like, don't expect a Steam Deck 2 until 2028. And I was like, I don't want to wait 3 more years or 2.5 more years. Like, that's a really long time. But, maybe that's what it takes. Maybe that's what makes sense, because at least right now, these other handhelds are not proving to be amazingly better. I kind of wish I had a Steam Deck OLED, but not enough to spend money for it.
Yeah. It's a little disappointing. I wish there was more to talk about. I wish I was more excited about it. And I wish the Xbox experience was a little bit more amazing, that people were talking about it with, a bunch of positivity, but it's okay. We'll pick up and move on.
I mean, the thing, the takeaway I had was what people were like, the experience people want exists. It's on the Steam Deck, except it's not, cross store, but right, like the good handheld experience already exists and it's called Steam Deck, which that's true. The Steam Deck experience is very integrated and very good. This was the chance to was the chance to fix that on the Windows side. And I'm not sure that they've come out swinging with their best foot forward, but I hope they can get there. I did buy a Windows license from one of those like weird, super discount, limited time, whatever.
Potentially sketchy.
Very potentially sketchy, but it was only $10. So I will take my chances on that one. And if Microsoft blacklists that key, then that's fine. But I did buy it in the kind of expectation of putting Windows 11 on my Steam Deck, right? And having a license that I could run my Steam Deck as Windows, because you can do that. It's a little bit tricky, though, because it sounds like, from Reddit at least, they haven't updated the drivers since the Steam Deck came out. And so it's kind of a little bit tricky, because there's no like custom GPU drivers that are like game updated, kind of like the modern ones for Windows are. You're not using Proton at that point, you're using Windows. So I don't think you get any of those kind of advantages either. So it's kind of like worst of all worlds in that regard. That kind of spooked me out of it. And also because the full screen experience didn't seem like it really took off. But if we get a bunch of reports that say like, oh, it's good now, then maybe I will take a chance and try to use the sketchy Windows key and put Windows on my Steam Deck.
I'm still planning on trying it on my LIX. Like,
you should. Why not?
There's no risk, really, right? Like, if I just don't like it, I just stop using it.
It's because it's just a patch to Windows, right? It's just like a new Windows.
I'm pretty sure it's a patch to Windows, and then it's like you launch the Xbox app. It's if you already have Windows 11 installed on your LIX, I heard that it's very straightforward to get going.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'll report back. Maybe I'll have it done by next show. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I'll let you know.
Okay, great.
And if anyone else is interested and wants to pressure me into doing it sooner, you can do that. See what I did there, Chris? That was a great transition.
That was really good.
You can do that in our Discord, which you can get to at discord.pnapodcast.com.
I mean, that caught me off guard. But if you'd like to find any of our older episodes or read our show notes, you can visit our website at pnapodcast.com. That's P, the letter N, the letter A, podcast.com.
If you're enjoying the show, we would love if you could share it with some others that might enjoy it as well.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.
Chris, you and I both have very busy lives right now. Work is kind of killing me. I've got a lot of other stuff going on. You have a lot of other stuff going on. And the fact that October is just jam freaking packed with stuff is not helping me.
No, there is a lot of stuff coming out in October. So much so that I've kind of lost track of the things that are coming out in October. You made a nice little list here, and I didn't know about probably half of them. But are you like interested in playing all of these October things, or are you just kind of making notes of things that are of interest?
There's probably like 3 or 4 things, maybe 4 or 5 things on this list I'm interested in, and then a bunch of other things that is just, because I like to stay in the zeitgeist, right? I like to like pay attention and watch streamers and like read watch the news, and it's just very fast paced right now. Like it's just a lot going on. Oh, I didn't even write one down. I'm thinking of another one right now.
Are we gonna
I'm gonna run through this list really fast on the things that are big for me, right? Like I separated into kind of big stuff and small stuff, but that doesn't mean it's big and small. It means the stuff that I'm paying attention to and the stuff I'm not paying attention to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, just the stuff I'm paying attention to, Battlefield 6 came out, I don't know, a few weeks ago. It's been taking the FPS streaming market by storm. It's been looked really good. It's been very compelling. Almost bought it twice now, but I haven't.
Wow.
Guild Wars 2 has an expansion coming out next week. Dispatch, which I have been talking about forever, is coming out. Now, thankfully, Dispatch is doing it in episodes, so maybe I'll have time to play each episode every time it comes out. That's nice. Warframe just had a huge update and has another dev stream about another huge update that's supposed to be coming before the end of the year. I'm behind in that already. Outer Worlds 2, which I don't think I'm going to buy right away, but I will tell you I reinstalled Outer Worlds 1 to like maybe take a little another taste of it. So that one's got me going. And that's just the big stuff that I'm kind of paying attention to just in the end of October.
Wow. I mean, Outer Worlds will come to Game Pass at least. So there's that.
That's true. I mean, it's not even a price thing at this point. It's just a time thing.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. I have a couple of things that have come out in October. I did just play the demo for Ball Pit, which I mentioned in the main show. And that game was super fun. It's very much my kind of thing. And I very much enjoyed the demo. And I did go ahead and pick it up on Humble so I can play it on my Steam Deck, which is why I picked up my Steam Deck.
Nice.
Ball Pit, really quickly, is just a mix between Breakout or Arkanoid and Vampire Survivors. And it's just the right kind of like roguelike loop thing for me. It's the kind of game I can afford to play right now, time-wise. So I'm very much looking forward to playing it.
Speaking of roguelikes, I really like Gunfire Reborn, and some of our friends in one of our Discords, I didn't even know this was happening, posted that Gunfire Reborn is getting another DLC, or maybe the first DLC. I don't know. I love Gunfire Reborn. I love that roguelike. It's probably one of the few roguelikes that I have personally, individually, solo beaten. Gotten to the end, to the last boss, and it said, "Oh, sorry, there's no more levels for you," and you just have to kind of repeat and turn it up. I've done that with Hades, and I've done that with Gunfire. I don't know that I've done that with very many other roguelikes. So, but that one's coming out. Some of the other stuff I'm not paying attention to is Fellowship, Arc Raiders, and you have Hades 2, but I don't think you've even played Hades 2 since it officially got released.
That's not true. I did play a couple of runs since their 1.0 came out. And it hasn't changed a lot, but they did, added the true ending or whatever, which I haven't seen yet. I haven't gotten all the way there yet, but, it is the kind of thing where now I'm kind of in the peel back the onion stage. Like Hades 1 kind of had that as well. Right. I think I need to play and beat Hades 2 another, 25 times or whatever in order to get the full story. But I think that's not a problem.
I'm just feeling really overwhelmed right now with the amount of games that are in the news cycle. There's just too, why spread it. The thing that we haven't even talked about is I'm currently unsubscribed from World of Warcraft, but 11.2.7, which at its housing comes out here soon-ish, maybe in the next month.
Do they have a date?
No, there's no date yet, but
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be soon-ish.
Oh, near. Okay.
And I'm not going to do that, but I know that people are going to be talking about it, and I'm going to have to stay up to date about it. And there's just been so much. I
mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I would, if housing is what I think it is, and it has cool little trophies from all of your exploits and things, I'm going to want to try that at some point.
Oh, there definitely are. I mean, it's on the alpha already, or it's on the beta. It's on
some pre-release,
the public test realm. Yeah, it's on the public test realm. People are already showing which achievements will be activated after the fact, and they're saying go back and do these achievements, and you'll get cool stuff unlocked. And oh god, it's a lot.
A good reason to do achievement farming in WoW though would be interesting. Then you'd never need to buy another
Yes.
game ever again, and you wouldn't have to worry about any of these things.
Okay, so that's part of okay. You've hit on a really key thing here. Is like I'm having a lot of fun with Guild Wars right now. I've been playing Guild Wars again. It just kind of happened. I was done playing World of Warcraft. Warframe hadn't had its update yet, so I got back into Guild Wars and I was playing around with it. And like I'm playing Guild Wars and I was like, I'm playing Guild Wars right now, but like I could be playing other games, but I like playing Guild Wars and I'm enjoying playing Guild Wars. But I could be playing other games. And like it's been a really tough mental gymnastics on like, okay, I have free time, I'm using my free time, I'm playing a game I enjoy in my free time, but am I playing the right game right now?
I mean, I think this is just the gamer's dilemma, right? This is life now.
There's just so much choice. There's so much choice.
First world problems.